So we're going to talk insurance now. Access Insurance, we've been dealing with them. Again, they were our supplier from the inception of the buying group being set up. We're dealing with 50 plus members. I think it's probably a bit more than that now on the slide. Typically saving 15%. There's a couple of testimonials there from some organisations who have dealt with them. So we've got Chirs Bryant here. Chris is going to come and talk a little bit about access. So Chris, come and stand up here, and I'll leave you to press the button, and 10 minutes.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Hi everybody, thanks for coming and listening to this seminar, along with the others. Hopefully they've all been good, and hopefully I'll be able to explain a little bit about what Access is and how we have been working with the Christian supply chain now for 25 years, something like that. We really enjoy what we do. Insurance sometimes is one of those necessary evils, but we all are involved, I guess, whether personally or whether we're working for an organisation. We all have a responsibility to take good care of the assets and the liabilities that we find ourselves responsible for. And so Access Insurance has been going since the year 1999, just 2000. And since that time we have grown to over 50 employees. We're based in Croydon, and we have offices throughout the country as well, in Bedford and other locations as well. So we have grown from just a couple of people really back in the 2000s through to now. And really it's been wonderful how as an organisation we've seen growth organically, particularly being at the cutting edge of being available on the internet to lots of charities, churches, not-for-profit organisations, and helping them really unpack and arrange insurance for them which is actually suitable for them. Because so often when you're buying insurance, because you're not dealing with it every day, there's so many things to understand, there's so many parts of the policy people don't really get. And so our role as a broker is to be able to really unpack that, explain the policy that you're buying, and to help you understand what it is, the protection it is that you've got for your individual needs, for your organisation. And so we've been working with Christian supply chains, as I say, for many years, and I've had the privilege over quite a number of years of visiting many of your centres and really tailoring the insurances very much for your needs. So so as I've said, we specialise in charity, churches, not-for-profit organisations, and many of those organisations will be Christian. And we very much run our business on Christian principles, and our whole ethos really is to do the right thing. And so we work with insurers, such as Ecclesiastical and others, which have very much a social responsibility, take it upon themselves to have a social responsibility to put back into the sector in which they're working. So, for example, Ecclesiastical, who's one of our suppliers, they are planning to give £100 million to charitable causes over the next year, which is really great. It's not all about profit, it's about having that combination of, yes, profit is important, of course it is, we all need to survive and make a profit, but at the same time, it's good to have a social and an ethical viewpoint as well, and being able to contribute into the sector is, I think, is a really good thing. And the same with Access. We too have been, for many years now, have been giving back into the charitable sector, and we've got our own goal. So by 2025, we're looking to be able to give £500,000 back into the charitable sector. So again, that's part of our social responsibility. And we're very excited about that, and to be able to see organisations benefit from people such as ourselves and the insurers that we work with. So just then, if I take us to our first slide, there we go. So we're currently dealing with over 15,000 charity and church clients across the UK. One of the really good things is that we've signed up to FIFO a number of years back. It's always a bit nerve-wracking when you sign up to an organisation such as FIFO, because you always wonder what the feedback is that you're going to get, because you're putting your you're opening yourself up to either good and bad comments, but we have received 98% of our clients rate us good or excellent, and certainly in my time through the company, in the 15 years I've been working for Access, that's certainly been one of the consistent things that we have received back from our customers, is that actually we do provide a good, friendly and personable service, whether you're speaking on the phone to one of our members of staff or whether you're meeting with one of our representatives such as myself, and we're very proud of the fact. We don't get everything right all of the time, but we do our very best. It also would just be worth pointing out at this stage that actually we are chartered insurance brokers as well. Only around about 5% of brokers, insurance brokers within the UK have actually got chartered status. So as well as being friendly and personable, we are also professional in terms of what we advise. So many of our staff are undergoing exams and signing up to the relevant institutes exams and being qualified in their professional capacity. So actually we're very much keeping up to date with current legislation and really emerging risks which are happening all the time, as we all know. So yeah, that's that one. So yeah, so in terms of what we do and how we can help you, every charity, every church is different, and so we make it our business to really understand what we do, and so rather than providing a blanket sort of level of cover, which you can buy, we tailor our insurances very much for your needs. So one of the very first things we will ask of you is what you do, how you do it, and capture some really useful, necessary risk information to be able to help us to actually put together a package or a portfolio of insurances which are going to be able to protect you, your liabilities, your assets, and your management risks. We find charities up and down the country that they're doing so many different things. It's people's within the commercial sector. I would say it's easier to insure a commercial risk than it is to insure a charity risk. Very, very much, because if you're covering a car manufacturer will largely do the same process, and so it's relatively uncomplex. However, when you're coming to charities are doing such a wide variety of things, and so actually to have a knowledge of what charities do, to understand the risks that they're involved with, to understand what the threats are, what the exposures are to them, and to really be able to ask the appropriate questions is a challenge. But we've made it our business to make sure that we do understand the risks, and so when we come and see you, we will be asking you the questions that hopefully you've not thought of, or you may not know the answer to, but you will find out. And we will be able to process that information and make sure that actually the package we put together is the right package for you. So yeah, so there is no form of cover that we're not really able to arrange. So we provide cover for a whole range of risks, which I'm going to come on to. I think probably one of the things to really, or one of the things that we can say that we often find as we go and visit clients, or as we pick up the phone and speak to clients, is we find that often, especially if charities have not had a review for many years, sometimes, their insurances have been renewed year after year, and people don't always understand what they're renewing anyway, and so we will come in and ask you questions which actually maybe not been asked for a while. At a recent, in fact this was one of the supplier members, we recently did a review for them. They were working with children, vulnerable adults. One of the things that we often find is that not all insurance policies will cover things such as abuse. And as you'll probably all be aware, within recent years there have been numbers of very unfortunate allegations relating to abuse, and it really is important that actually your insurer, if you are involved particularly with vulnerable adults or working with children, that you do arrange cover to protect the organisation from these kind of allegations, because it's not just about being found guilty or not guilty, or negligent or not negligent. It's actually about having the insurance protection to pay for the costs in defending them, and actually that's often where we find claims really come into their own, because often organisations are not held negligent, but actually in terms of actually being able to defend an allegation, that's where your insurance policy will not only pick up the actual awards if they are granted, but they will also pick up the defence costs, which can be very, very large. So that was one area that we identified. Contents underinsured, that's a common one. Making sure that your contents are properly accounted for. There is something in most insurance policies called underinsurance, and if you are found in the event of a claim, for example, that your contents are underinsured, there's a clause in the policy which will mean that actually you do not get back effectively if there was a catastrophe such as a flood or a fire or something like that. You will not get back the full value of your insurance because of the underinsurance, and the insurers will knock off a percentage of your claim as a result of that. And again, that can leave the organisation with quite a gap in terms of their income. Business. 1 minute is amazing how time goes, isn't it? Okay, let's move on. These are just some. Let me just say, these are just some of the things that we identified. And I'd say, if there's anything in there particularly when it comes to business interruption, adequacy of liability limits, if you've got engineering equipment, lifts, anything like that. All of these kind of things, we would go through all of your different activities and make sure you've got the right cover in place, so that gives you a flavour. Briefly on claims, obviously at the end of the day, that's why you're buying insurance is in the event of a claim happening. And we would treat claims on a very high basis, so they're looked at immediately. We would be liaising with insurers to help you process those really very quickly and efficiently. So I won't say any more on that, but that would be very much part of what we would advise you on to make sure you're getting the most out of your insurance policy. We can provide risk management resource, and we do that by for all our clients, particularly in this group. So again, if you need any help in risk management, we would be able to supply that information to you by logging onto an online portal. And that's freely available for you. So again, that's something we would wish to do. So our motivation really to land really is we want to serve you. We enjoy serving you already, and we'd love to see more of you. So we do very much believe in what you're doing. We want to support you in what you're doing, and to make sure ultimately that you are protected financially, that you and as managers, as trustees, are confident actually that you are buying the right cover from people that actually are qualified and equipped to be able to provide that trust that you want to be assured of. And I think really that I've said all of that on that last slide. So thanks so much for listening to me. And if there are any questions, please do, don't you have them now, or please do come and see Kwame or myself at the stand. Thanks.